Hello and welcome. Silrace here with Baldur's Gate 3. So, I am going to play this on balanced. However, I think I should be playing it on Explorer, considering what I have in mind, but balanced it is. And I will get back to all of that while I create the character. I do like that opening. Quite a bit. Now, just a few things here. Just a few things here before I really start making the character. This is the sort of game that I would really... When I think of games I want to actually record myself playing. This is not one of those games, in all honesty. This is the sort of like role-playing experience to enjoy by myself on a slow, sort of enjoyable pace, or whatever pace I want to go through it, and so on. However, I will be honest about how I do content at this very moment. At this point, I don't really have the luxury of time to play games that I am not recording for content. And so if I want to play Baldur's Gate, I kind of have to turn it into a let's play in the same go. And so that is happening. And so you folks get to enjoy Baldur's Gate 3 with me. If you are expecting something very quick and decisive and so on, don't watch this. That's just a fair warning right at this point. This is basically the first time playing this game. I did play very briefly the beginning area, just to get some settings correct and try a few things, mostly on the options menu and keybinds and so on. But outside of that, I basically know nothing of this game. And considering I don't really use social media, I don't really run into spoilers on this, and then again, I don't particularly care about spoilers to begin with. They don't bother me in the slightest. Anyway. So let's do a character. Now let me talk about my character creation stuff, because as much as I have played RPGs like this, like original Baldur's Gate 2, Icewind Dale, so on, and Neverwinter Nights and such, I have spent so much more hours playing actual pen and paper RPGs as opposed to these games. And so when I look at the character creation, this is sort of why I mentioned Explorer. When I look at the character creation like something like this, I much rather make an interesting character than a min-maxed effective one. And that's why I was talking about the Explorer. Because I will likely run everybody in my party as a single class character. I am not going to do multi-classing, min-maxing stuff. If you are interested in any of that, you are not watching the correct Let's Play. Let's put it that way. I'd much rather have an interesting character than an effective one. In all honesty, that's my preference. So, I have an idea here. And I looked at the character creation obviously before, because so on. I was honestly thinking of doing this Dark Urge, just straight up, as the straight up first character. But I think I don't want to. I think I will do a Dark Urge Let's Play later on. This might be really fun. This might be really fun and interesting. However, I want to see the main game first. When it comes to that. So, what we're going to do is we are going to be a Drow. We are going to be a Drow, and female Drow. I was looking at different characters, and now Tieflings are obviously, like in D&D setting, Tieflings are really popular, mostly because of how customizable they are. Because you can make Tiefling basically anything you want to be. Whereas, for example, if you look at the fantasy sort of trope characters and whatnot, dwarves, halflings, gnomes, this sort of stuff, much less customizable. It's much harder to make a gnome exactly the kind of a character you want to be, or a dwarf, for that matter, or Gith, or an elf. Tiefling, you can do basically everything. You can do the usual of purple skin color, which tends to happen for some reason, like too much. You can do the kind of horns you want. You can decide that this tiefling of mine does not have a tail, or has a weird tail, or has a furry tail, or whatever. Like, you can get away with everything on a tiefling, which makes them really popular, and so on. However, I want to do a Drow. Mostly because this is Forgotten Realms, and Forgotten Realms are essentially the home of the Drow, and I want to do a Drow. Why they separated Drow from the Elf, I have no idea, but I want to do a Drow. Now, this was interesting to me. What the fluff is a Silrace Drow? What? Is this a way to ew. If I change my class to Cleric, will it just tell me that, yeah, I am the follower? Wait, what? I can just shoot. Really? Really? So, Silrace Drow is followers of Selûne by default? Not Aelistray. What? The fluff is going on here. What the fluff is a Silrace Drow? Okay, fine. But screw that. We're not going to be any kind of Silrace Drow. We're going to be a proper Drow. Screw all of that. Now, class for games like this is usually really simple for me. It is just fighter. Why? Well, because most of these games, not all of them, but majority of these games do all sorts of silly things, such as putting your main character in front of a conversation, which leads to a fight. And so your main character is essentially the front line anyway. The other thing these games don't really do is give you multiple frontline fighters. Now, I have no idea how many I'm getting in this game, but generally, no matter which of these RPG style games you look at, whether it's Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous, or so on, you don't necessarily get the kind of frontline fighters you might want. And so for me it's usually, well, my main character might as well be on the front line, then let's play a fighter. And also, having your main character be pretty sturdy is a good thing. Now, this is obviously based on Dungeons & Dragons system, which would make Cleric the other really obvious choice. Cleric is just by far the best class in Dungeons & Dragons. You can try to debate that as much as you want. However, if you are just talking pure power and efficiency, Cleric is the best class in the game. That is... and also... What? Really? I can be a life domain cleric while my deity is low. Okay, I'm really tempted to do that. Wait, I can, what the? Okay. Sometimes, this is my belief. Restrictions make for better character generation, and I believe this quite firmly. Because when you open everything up, you gain so many nonsensical things. A Drow cleric, lol, who has a light domain or a life domain. I mean, nature domain I absolutely get, because Lolth is the demon queen of spiders after all. Nature domain, absolutely fine. Trickery, fine. Knowledge, war, absolutely awesome. Tempest, maybe questionable? Maybe? But light and life... I'm really tempted to do that. But I won't. I will be a fighter. Right now my idea is to become an Eldritch Knight. I know Eldritch Knights are not very good. They are not the most powerful fighter by far, but that seems kind of fitting. Then again, if I am a lady version of a Drow and I'm a follower of Lolth anyway, going cleric would make the most sense, and then, you know, pretending to be a nobility, right? Because that would be the very pinnacle of the Lolth Drow society. That would be the very pinnacle of it. But I will be playing a fighter. Let's just go with it. I will play a fighter. Now, fighting style, this is a funky thing. I have no idea which weapons are any good in this game. Generally, for fighters, two-handed weapons are pretty damn good. However, great weapon fighting is not actually very good. So we're not picking that. And why is it not very good? Well, pure math here. If you're doing any sort of min-maxing, looking at great weapon fighting, and if you are familiar with the D&D system, 1 or 2 on a damage die. Let's say you're using a Great Axe, which is a D12, so 1 to 12 as the damage die. You have a 1 in a 6 chance, essentially, rolling 1 or a 2. And so your damage increases on average by 1 point for having taken this Great Weapon fighting. Because you know, every time you roll 1 or 2, you get reroll. So basically, you can make the argument that the damage range is from 3 to 12 instead of 1 or 2 to 12. You can make that's a simplification of the math, but basically that. So instead of doing on average 6.5, you are doing on average 7.5. Obviously, it's a little bit better with a greatsword, which is 2d6 damage. So you are rolling 2 dice, 1 to 6 on each, so it gets a little bit better for that, but still not great. Just not great. 2-weapon fighting, this is just me not being a fan of dual wielding in general in games, because having actually done sword fighting and such in real life myself, dual wielding is really silly. Give me a shield and a weapon any day of the week. So that's that. And also, 2-weapon fighting takes your bonus action in the game, in the game system, and having your bonus action available to do all sorts of things is actually really good. So we're not doing 2-weapon fighting. Screw that. I think we're doing defense. Just straight up +1 armor class. Passive, not flashy, but just straight up makes me 5% less likely to be hit. And I will absolutely have that. So protection could be interesting. The problem is you have to be really close to the allies. It does eat reaction, which is nice because it makes use of the reaction, but you have to be really close. Now, if I knew I had like 2 frontliners who could work in tandem 1 by 1, or a frontliner and a rogue, this could be interesting. However, I don't know that. So, defense it is. Defense it is. Now, background. This is where stuff gets interesting. What was the? Will you show me? Will you show me? Oh, this was bonus action as well, right? Yeah, will you show me skills? Ah, perfect. So athletics, acrobatics, history, animal handling, survival, intimidation. Okay. Okay. How much more? Inside religion? No, we are not being an acolyte. Being nobility would make sense here. Soldier would obviously make sense here. Yeah. Just guarantee these two because both of at least this one is really useful. Criminal is kind of nice for deception. Deception makes sense for Drow. Volk hero never. We are not a guild artisan. Outlander, no thank you. Entertainer, we do not do entertaining. Sleight of hand, it's always useful. Pick locks in pockets. Oh, right, yes. Exactly. I don't know what I was thinking. Now, this would give me... Yeah, this would give me... But I don't want to be a street urchin. Then again, Charlton does get sleight of hand and deception. This would actually make sense for a Drow to begin with. But I think we are going to be nobility. I think we are going to be pretend to be Drow nobility. Because that makes the character interesting, and that's it. Alright, now give me that. So athletics for sure. Do we want intimidation? Oh, I do not have. Oh, I have perception from race. Okay, oh right, yeah, Drow race, obviously. So intimidation, athletics. I have history, I have perception. Do I need both intimidation and persuasion? I probably don't. Then again, intimidation would make a lot more sense. You know what? You know what we are gonna do? We're gonna go for the one I had in mind. Soldier. Athletics, intimidation, soldier. Oh man, this is just so very... Lie and cheat my way through things and have access to... But this is the more min-maxing stuff. Whereas this is definitely not. Being soldier actually makes sense as well if you're going to be a Drow fighter. Yeah, let's do that. Let's be a soldier. On a soldier background, we will have athletics. We will have intimidation, perception. Do I want survival or do I want something like history? Maybe we want something like history for a change. This could be fun. Do I really want acrobatics? This is actually kind of... Because I don't really need acrobatics, I don't think. So trying to get something else, like insight. Oh, insight would be nice. Yeah, let's do that. And then we just intimidation. Alright, now give me these. Can I take those off for a moment? Thanks. Don't need that. We want we want charisma. I don't need dex. Really don't need dexterity. 3 points. What would I do with 3 points? Do I drop intelligence? I just drop intelligence. What? You can only go to 15? Really? Well, in that case, we will do that to go to 16. Maybe we pump charisma a little. For the intimidation checks. Because we want to be kind of persuasive. Persuasion is just completely and utterly lost on us. Since we are, we get access to it from being from the north. No, I went soldier, not nobility. What do I do with these 3 points, huh? Go constitution. Drop that and go 16 constitution. No. Go 15 constitution. Then we can do this. Then we have 16 strength, 16 constitution. That seems pretty good. That seems pretty good indeed. And getting wisdom up. No. Getting intelligence up. Wisdom would be good for here. Intelligence would be. Actually, getting wisdom up would give me insight and perception increases. Like this. Something like this. And it will also give me wisdom saving throw. Which is kind of a useful saving throw. Dexterity is the most used, right? Do I really need 16 constitution? But I do overall like that. I do like that. So we're gonna keep that. We are going to keep that. And you know what? I'm gonna mess around a little with the character's locks, and I think I will do that off camera. Because I wanna mess around with a bunch of sliders and stuff, and I don't wanna waste your time on that. So we will resume this in the next episode, where I actually begin playing the game.